Hello there. I have just recently finished reading Beware the Devil by Robert Lee. It's out of print, so I got it for real cheap, luckily, but it goes for like $40 online, so I got real lucky, got it for real cheap. But it's about a man named Robert Lee, the author writing about himself, who he decides he wants to dabble in spiritualism, see what it's about, and goes to a spiritualist church, and they recommend him try playing with a Ouija board, and he actually concocts one out of just cardboard, and uses just like a glass like this, to as like the thing that moves around, and does it with his wife and his kids, real young kids. And luckily he was the only one that ended up tormented, but he ended up hearing voices from the guide. Some versions say the muse. A side note here, even people that are really into occultism and stuff like that, and tarot cards and stuff, are not big advocates of Ouija boards. I haven't heard any positive stories coming out of them, and some people play with them and say, I've been fine, but it's a lot like Russian roulette. You don't know when you're going to get bit. But anyway, yeah, he started hearing voices in his head, and things just start going very, very badly for him. I'm not going to spoil the book for you, but he has to eventually seek out a group of fellow Christians, and I don't want to go all preachy on this, but from what I've heard, the only real solution to demonic possession, or ghosts, or whatever you may call it, spirits, whatever, Jesus is the only real solution to such things. It's the only proven, tried and true solution. Everything else, the demons will subside, whatever, because they're fooling you, or because it actually temporarily works, but they always come back. Jesus is the only real solution to such things. And I think we seek out things like this. We seek out Ouija boards. We watch these ghost shows on TV. I used to be really into ghost stuff, paranormal stuff, and I'll still read books about this kind of stuff to, educate myself and, become more learned. But there's no, if there's a heaven and a hell, you're playing with fire. And I think that a lot of people, they investigate this kind of stuff because I think it's part of our being to seek out a relationship with God. And because we are naturally in the same way bent away from God ever since Adam and Eve, ever since the devil became part of the picture, which is the beginning, we have been bent away from God. And part of it is it's just easier to be evil. It's easier it's less of a burden to be, in communion with God, to be in a relationship with God, to pursue God. So we often just take the easy path. But anyway, speaking of paths, I'm rabbit trailing here. But the point is that people pursue Ouija boards, people pursue all the spiritualism because they're seeking something that they cannot have, something that is beyond what they can see, something more. And I think they're misguided, and I think a lot of it's just people, people that are curious, people that are bored, they want to experience something beneficial, and I think that is a relationship with Jesus, and it is a hard path, but it is a fulfilling path. And it's not as easy as sinning, but it is far more fulfilling. But anyway, I am droning on. This video was not my best work, but it is very unprepared. So, Robert Lee, Beware the Devil. If you could find a copy of this for cheap, buy one. Buy as many copies as you can. Give them to your friends, whatever. It's an excellent read. If you're not a Christian, I highly recommend this book. Not as a method to preach to you, although it does definitely fulfill that. But it's a very chilling and engaging read. It is not to promote such things. In fact, it is a great tool of keeping people away from such things. If you were thinking of playing with the Ouija board, you may think twice after reading this book. So, anyway, Beware the Devil, check it out. It's a great book. So, I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and I saw The Two Towers in theater, the extended edition, like last month or something. It was, I'd never seen The Two Towers in theater, but I had seen it on DVD many, many times. I have many other books I could be reading, but I started reading The Fellowship of the Ring, and I don't know, it's I hate to say this because it makes me sound ignorant, but it's really boring me. Like, I feel like since I've seen the movie, I've got the best parts of the book without dealing with all the filler. Like, I don't even skip parts in books because I feel guilty. The OCD in me goes crazy and like, no, you have to read the whole thing. But I'm to page 145, and it's such a drag. Like, I don't know. Do these books get better, or is it just not for me? Like, is it the same kind of thing with the Fellowship of the Ring, where the pacing, really picks up from the Two Towers and on? Should I push through and so that I can read the Two Towers and the Fellowship of the Ring? I feel like I should be reading this because I just got this Bram Stoker's Dracula, because I'm actually enjoying this a lot more, and I'm only to page 30. I took a break from everything to read this. I just finished it earlier today and got back into Fellowship of the Ring shortly after, but I'll make another video about it. But it's out of print. It's called Beware the Devil by Robert Lee. Got it for cheap on Amazon. Got real lucky because it's like a $40 book now. About a guy who's dabbles with the Ouija board and starts hearing voices in his head and all sorts of stuff. So it's worth checking out. It's an excellent book. So yeah, should I finish Fellowship of the Ring? Let me know. I'd like to hear your thoughts.